If you told me a code base that mattered, that not just life impacting, finance impacting, but mattered, I would be nervous if more than 10% of it came out of an LLM untouched by a human. And so we say above 10% pure Gen AI is risky, and there'd better be a really darn good reason. I mean, if it's a prototype or social app or something, it's fine. But when things matter, we really look for that 10% threshold at a maximum for the code to be untouched.
And how often do you find people at or exceeding the 10%?
10% pure is pretty rare, under 10% of the cases. The overall Gen AI usage is obviously increasing dramatically. It's not uncommon to see some Gen AI be in the 20 to 30% range. But again, this is as amazing as it may be, it's still an extension of other tools that have helped developers over the last decades. And developers know, treat other code with some skepticism, review it, make it theirs, make sure it's right, etc. And so I'm not at all surprised that the amount of, the number of times where the pure Gen AI code is above 10 is really quite low.
Really? But do you see those rates trending up, though?
Absolutely.
And do you
Absolutely.
find that as those rates trend up, it may become more difficult in the future for you to identify these things, even though you're looking at the provenance of the data analytically, but it will get very good at mimicking how humans are writing code. It'll become more novel.
Yeah, I do. I accept that premise, sort of like an elementary school student saying, please write this paper for me, but write it in the style of a fifth grader with plenty of human qualities. I think what you'd have to believe is that humans are incentivized to mask how much Gen AI code is in it, just like humans are incentivized to mask whether or not they're cheating on tests, etc. I don't think that moment has arrived, but I do think it is coming, because if people want the code to be modified and coders would rather not, they might have incentives to fake it. Two things give me hope. One is asking developers to ignore code reviews of code that someone else wrote is pretty unnatural. It's against the ethos of the profession.
Okay.
Most coders go into this. Code is a craft. You're not going to IKEA to buy a cup. You want to make the cup yourself, and you want to make sure the cup is right. And that ethos of craftsmanship really helps.